Now, here's the question. You were thinking about this nice posh office with a booming secretary or executive assistant, a posh car, a wonderful vacation in Bali, 2, 3 weeks, and all that kind of stuff. What made you decide this is what you want to do? What pulled at your heartstring? Do you have any investment? Have you worked with any foster kids? Were you a foster child? Break it down.
Sure. Yeah. So right in that I'm a foster parent. And so when I started fostering in the early days, I was fortunate to get a placement of two young boys. They were both in middle school at the time that they came into my home. And I was a young foster parent, that new to this whole experience. And so having these two middle school age kids, they had already told me all types of stories about the times that they were incarcerated. It was almost like a badge of honor. Also, several of the men in their life, several of the men in their family have been in and out of the justice system. And so I run into this so much when it comes to the youth that we're working with in the detention centers. And don't get me wrong, there are females in detention centers as well. So the majority are male. However, we work with a lot of females. So I know sometimes, people will come back and ask, like, do you have any girls? But yes, we support girls as well who are currently incarcerated. And so having those two middle schoolers in my home and hearing the stories of why they were in and out of a detention center, I realized they didn't have the level of support that I had growing up. I was fortunate to have, my dad was superintendent of schools. My mom was a science teacher and she was like a leader in her school, basketball coach, so I saw leadership quite a bit, in both of my parents. And with that, I was able to take on some leadership skills, but you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. And so many of our kids don't have the same level of resources that many of us have today. And, many of us can share with them now. And so that's why I started the organization. I went in as a mental health professional, I would say kind of undercover, but, it was actually my first job as a psychotherapist was actually working inside of a youth detention center as a counselor. And to process on a daily basis the different stories that I would hear, the different affiliations that these youth were associated with, the different family ties and stories that caused so much trauma in their lives, that changed my life. And got to a point where I would have volunteers just come in and share your story. Share the way that you were able to overcome a challenge, because a lot of them just need to hear that it's possible. I saw what was possible, but many of them can't even visualize what's possible for their lives. And so as we train these youth advocates, these are the ways that we're helping them to kind of implement their own story, learn more about their own emotional intelligence, and practice that emotional intelligence and those skills with the youth who are incarcerated. And so by the time they hit the ground running and they're back in their communities, it's great success. It's great success.
Well, Tahara says that's a population that's underserved. Tammy said boys are underserved, and this is so awesome. And it is because, as you said, majority in jail are men, and I think there's more sympathy when it's women, because especially a woman with a child. So people are willing to help as opposed to a young boy coming out of jail or detention. Because my thing is, what I love about what you're doing, and it makes sense, it's not complicated, because if we can start mentoring and helping them at that age, right, we can prevent them from going back into jail or detention homes, right, or things like that. So I think what you're doing is really, really great. And we really need to support this. So I'm here to support whatever it is you need me to do. If you need me to come and talk, if you need me to whatever. So I'm bearing my soul to
you. Thank you so much.
But wait a minute. What did I just say? Let me stop this tape now, because I don't think I done gave you my soul.
Right.
But, and this is what I think the younger generation needs, because, okay, now you're in school, you have the educational part. We don't have, there's other things that we need need in school, financial
Right.
literacy and things like that. But your demographic, it's almost like when we had President Barack when he won. Regardless, and I'm not thinking about political parties, young kids now can say, oh my God, I can do that. You
Hmm.
know, being, because when you see yourself, you can more imagine that.
That's
You know
it.
what I'm saying? So I like that because there's so many people, and that's what I'm trying to do with our platform. Our platform is a place where we want to connect with people. How did you overcome adversity? It's not where'd you come from, this is where you are now. So that's why I say we're all in the same book, we're just in different chapters.
That's right.
Because you may have someone who's a CEO who was homeless at one point. You know, you never know. So once you can articulate that, and the kids, I think, will more listen to you because you've been where they are,
Hmm.
not necessarily jail, but homeless or something like that. So,
Right.
John, I know sometimes, because I have my nonprofit too, and you know, I talk to other people. Sometimes it can be a thankless job, but for
Mm.
me, and I think you and I can agree with this, the thanks that we get is looking at these kids or looking at the people that we're helping, their faces.
Right.
When they, because for me, I mentor young girls and young boys as well. They come on and I mentor them while they're interning and things like that. And you know, when I hear my mentee say all the time, that's right, Miss Charles, I like giving roses while people are alive. And I'm like, where the hell did he get that from?
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Not knowing that he's listening to everything I'm saying. Like I hear when he's talking to people and he says, Miss Charles, I just gave my teacher a rose. And I'm like thinking, you know, literally a rose. And he's like, no, I paid her a compliment or him a compliment. Because so I'm trying to get that negative and bad language out of their minds.
Right.
Let's be positive. Let's be kind to people. So whenever he talks to me, he's like, I'm giving roses to this one and it makes me feel so good. That's where I feel like I'm a bazillionaire.
I love that.
Okay.
I
I'm
love that.
doing my work. So just know that, John, you're not in it by yourself because you're changing a generation.
Thank
You're
you.
stopping a generational curse or whatever's going on in that generation. It stops with you. The buck stops with you. So I just want you to understand, my brother, I'm appreciative of what you're doing. It's so well needed. And to see that you are a foster parent and you've raised successful children, because I'm sure, knowing you and your background, okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I am sure, you know, the people that have not only successful, and I don't mean successful like money and going to college, I mean successful in the heart, that, you know, they've actually gone out and done things. So Tara says, may God continue to open doors of blessings to him and his nonprofit.
Thank you so much.
Look at that.
Thank you
That's
so
what I'm
much.
talking about.
You
So,
know, and Jackie, it's all about platforms like this that create more awareness because I know, you know, everyone knows the majority in our prison system right now are men, you know, and the prison system is big business. You know, there's a major cost difference between adults who are incarcerated for about $30,000 annually versus youth who are incarcerated for $90,000 annually. So, you know, this is also big business, but we have to look at the stats of what's going on. Also, women, the rates and statistics around women who are being incarcerated now are rising in a major way, and especially as related to Black women. So, you know, there are some alarming stats that are out there that are showing us, you know, there are transitions that are happening, but we've got to stay aware. You know, we really need to, as the saying is, stay woke, you know, and make sure that we are doing our part because we got to support each other. That's the theme of this year's Showcase Awards is our tribe, our village. And so it's all about, you know, these various tribes that we have kind of throughout the state. But Showcase Group is a village. Like it's a place that we can all come and make it happen and support each other there. And so with our youth advocates, who, as you were saying, you know, kind of like having a mentee. These youth advocates serve as even more than a mentor for our youth. They again serve as almost like a social worker. You know, they help to connect to resources. This isn't let's have a conversation. Let me tell you about my work experience, or let me tell you about my life. It's a step further. It's let me connect you to this resource so you're on the right pathway and you can continue to move forward on that pathway.
And it's so funny because when I started Women Are Worthy and I started getting a couple of interns, and then they asked to be mentored by me, and I'm like, huh? Who? Huh? And I left the corporate world, training doctors and
Right.
everything, and I'm like, left that alone. And I said, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, do I got common sense? I'm leaving cha-ching, cha-ching for,
Hey,
I don't hear the cash register.
right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
But I'm fulfilled, and God has been blessing me. And I realized that's my purpose. My purpose is to be an advocate in the community, be an advocate for women. And you mentioned something, because Women Are Worthy, we talk about, if you want to join our tribe, just subscribe.
Mhm.
And it takes a village. So I can't wait on the next person to do something. I can't wait on Deborah. I can't wait on T. I can't wait on Tammy. I have to do something,
Right.
because people are like, who are your leaders? Who do you look up to? I am not looking up to someone in Washington. I'm not looking up to a celebrity. Let's start working in the community. And also, if you see a woman or a single parent out there, and if the child needs a mentor, you can knock on that door. We've come in an era where we don't know what's going on with our next door neighbor. A next
Right.
door neighbor could have been dead in that house for 3-4 days. Nobody knows unless you
Yeah.
smell something.
That's right.
And it's almost like, because now, I didn't want to say it before, but I'm going to keep it real. Now I'm saying I am my brother's keeper, and I
Mhm.
am my sister's keeper.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to take that from Nino Brown, but
Right.
I
Right.
am my brothers and sisters keeper. And we have to look at that, because we're the ones that are being affected, the brown and black community. We're the ones that are being affected. So we need to go back to, we don't have mama and them no more. We don't have Medea and them no
Right.
more.
Right.
We don't have that. Grandmama, because grandmama going to the club with the daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the mother's wearing the daughter's jeans to the club. For me, because I was raised by a single parent male, my father, and I just love the fact when men are doing something, they're not just saying it, they're doing it. I'm proud of you. You deserve to get an award, okay? Because I'm
Oh, well,
definitely, we do our award, our Women Are Worthy show, because we're working on a gala, 2021. We definitely want to invite you. And
thank you.
I'm just so, you and I had conversations back and
Right.
forth. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Let me put him on blast. You know how long I hooked up with this brother? You know how long I hooked up with him.
Don't do that.
And
Don't do that.
when I say hooked up, I'm talking about trying to get him on the show.
Right.
When I say this brother is busy, he is busy. So the fact that he's giving me 45 minutes of his time today just shows me how much he's dedicated on getting the word out. But I'm telling y'all, woo, I got to get roller skates trying to keep up with this
Hey,
brother. Dog,
thank you. Thank you so much, though. I mean, really, the reward comes in, we were able to connect 87 kids this year between them transitioning, going through our program while they were incarcerated, and then pairing them with a youth advocate, getting them back into the community that they came from, and then connecting them to a pathway. Like, that was a major feat. And our target was 100, but we almost met the mark. I'm really proud of that. Even in spite of COVID, we would have some of our youth, and that's the beautiful thing about the Showcase Awards. Also, you'll hear these stories from the youth that we work with. You're going to hear stories from the mothers that we're working with. You'll understand some of the aspect of the family impact of even having their kids incarcerated and kind of being on the outside and not being able to see their child because they're in a different region of the state. These things are all issues that people have no idea of what's going on. But, really the reward is having the opportunity to be able to connect them to a resource and seeing that kid get on the right trajectory and get connected to employment and have a job, to leave from graduating while they were locked up inside that detention center and then get connected to a college or university. And they're like leaders on campus and doing their thing because they have a whole new outlook on life. That's the major reward right there.
I can imagine, and that's why I want, when you do newsletters, because we're revamping our website right now. Oh, the website's already great, but baby, it's gonna be better.
All right, all right.
So, whatever you have, I want to put it on the page,
Sure.
post it, because we want people to understand, and hopefully, you can duplicate it in different cities and stuff, in Cobb and stuff, because I definitely want to connect with you in the area that I'm in, where we have a prison system here, and I'll talk to my district person, my county commissioner person about this,
Great.
because I think this is really good. This is really telling and a testament in how involved and how invested you are in this. So on the website, we have that they can go on there and actually, so I want you guys, please, if you're on there, please share. And for our YouTube channel, we want you guys to share it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the Women Are Worthy Network. So the Showcase Award will be on December 20th at 3 p.m. And the website to go to register, check this out, y'all, come closer. Thank God I ain't got no cavities. Come closer. You have to go to showcasegroup.org to get a free ticket. Now, think about this. They're going to be giving out awards. It's at their expense, and what they're going to be doing is they're giving away a free ticket. So, Deborah said our community needs a village. Yeah, we really need a village really bad. We don't have that anymore. Tahara said, you can't even ask your neighbors for sugar anymore because they're looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want? Right. See, that's why I go back and I'm having like trauma issues because I'm watching shows like Good Times, Leave It to Beaver, where people would knock on the door and say, can I have something? You know what I'm saying? So
I can't tell you the organizations who I have approached and said, hey, you all are a mentoring organization. This would be a great fit for the justice involved youth that I'm working with. And they have denied access to their mentors because, like I said, this particular population. And, people aren't optimistic about this population. People don't have hope for kids who made a mistake along the way. Oh, they may not graduate high school. So, our organization really works with high school graduates to make sure they get to college. Well, so does ours. Our kids are graduating while they're going through the circumstance that they just went through. But we're a society that is really bound in forgiveness. We're supposed to be forgiving and show empathy. We have to put ourselves in other shoes and really kind of look at their experience, look at our own experience and see, where do we fit in? Where can we help? Where can we give a hand up? And so I think as we start to transition and kind of get out of these times, which have been really tough for everyone,
right?
There's so much hope in this work. Even with our advocates being virtual this year, that's where our kids are receiving tablets and laptops and cell phones because our youth advocates are virtual. They're meeting just like we're meeting right now, and still instilling those emotional intelligence principles and making sure that they're connected. And so, we have our challenges along the way. We have our youth who may not want to participate fully. We have youth that start and don't fully complete. But the majority of these youth are definitely completing our program and they're staying out of detention.
And this is why it's so important to collaborate, because that's my biggest takeaway that I tell a lot of nonprofits. Collaboration is key. Not only key, but when it comes to the financials, because the population you're serving, they're not serving, and if we come together and collaborate, it would be so much better. But some of the businesses feel like this is all mine. I don't want to share what I'm doing with you. And we have to stop that. So even if it's not just money and collaborating, where if we're going for grants, which is really great, but let's show the youths that we are investing in them. And it shouldn't just be John Kennebrew and your company. It should be Women Are Worthy or other organizations reaching out, looking, how can I help? I'm here, what you need? How can I? Or this is only what I can provide, So I just definitely, again, like I said, I wish we had more of that when I was growing up, because I'm telling you, trust me and believe me, it's by the grace of God, because a lot of the women that were there, or young girls when I was there, I can't find them. Some of them, I was told, have died in the streets and things like that. So I know God has had his hand on me, and the right person had their hand on me.
That's right.
So you're out there and you're helping people, and I appreciate it. So what I want to tell everyone, this is Mr. John Kennebrew. You have all the information here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we had to come on a little early because I'm telling you, I was hunting this man down. I think I heard one night, someone was banging on my door. I said, I hope it ain't the police. I was like, why the police gonna be knocking on our door? I said, you don't know what I had to do to get John Kennebrew on our show. You don't know what I had to
do. It can be a little tough. Yeah, it can be a little tough.
He's like, wait a minute, you stalked someone again? I said, I sure did. So it's all about the connections and things like that. So we want to thank you for being on our show, and we're definitely going to post everything out there. Tomorrow's show, we're going to be at 7:00. We want you to tune into the Women Are Worthy show on Facebook. We're going to have Captain Stephanie Grant. She's a pilot, a mentor, and she's a speaker. So tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're going to go back to our regular time at 7 p.m. We have a group of Black pilots, Black female pilots out here in Atlanta. And guess who found them? You know, I'll go anywhere to find good people. So tune in tomorrow to support what we're doing so we can continue to give, more great shows, more great interview. Again, don't forget to like us on the Women Are Worthy show on Facebook and Instagram, and our YouTube is the Women Are Worthy Network. Now, again, we're talking about John. Please, please, please make sure that you support his company. And again, if you're looking for someone to come in and clean your office or clean your buildings or anything, if you're looking for someone who's COVID certified or COVID certified cleaning company, please call PCT Cleaning, and their phone number is 770-422-5326. They are phenomenal. Now, again, John's sweet spot, his organization's sweet spot is emotional intelligence. So let's go through the 4 focuses that they're focusing on right now: education, mental health, residential support, and employment. If we can help this brother any which way we can, think about less children are going to go back into the system. Right. We all know that the system is built for money. It's built for us. It's built for us. So he can't say it, I'll say it. It's built for us. It's a business. So we have to make sure we keep our babies out. And if they go in, we have to make sure that they don't go back into the system. Okay. And we also, by what you're doing, we're showing them hope. Like, oh my God, someone's willing to spend time on me. And if you do, let me give you an advice, guys, because I know this happened to me when I was younger. You have some people that just want to do it just to say that they're doing it. Really bring your heart to it, because these kids, I'm telling you, they know when you fake or you're just doing it just to put it on your resume or bio. I'm telling you, these kids are so impacted by this. And once you show them that love, I promise you, they will turn around and do what they need to do. Because I know I've been there and someone invested in me, and I just want to put that out there. So for me, this is very personal. So is there anything you want to say before we close our show?
Well, just thank you. Thank you again for allowing me this opportunity to bring light to our work, to bring light to kind of what's going on with the state of juvenile justice. I know a lot of people don't really focus on it, so I'm really grateful for you to give me this platform. Consistency is one of the keys when it comes to working with these justice-involved youth. And so if you are considering becoming a youth advocate with our organization, you can sign up to do that at showcasegroup.org. Also, again, December 20th is our annual Showcase Awards, which we'll be doing virtual. And I'm excited. It's not just, interview after interview. It's actually really creative. We've even got a comedian involved. You're going to hear some great music. You're going to see some great talent. So we take what we do with our annual Showcase Awards event, and we've kind of mixed it up and done some really creative stuff for you visually and virtually. So we're excited to debut all of that on December 20th. So just take the time to watch a great show.
Okay, and let me plug myself. On next year's show, Jackie gonna be somewhere on that show with the mic, interviewing, doing something. So now, look, y'all, I didn't ask him. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, that's how it is, and so it is.
I'm manifesting it now. Okay, so we will be doing it live next year as well. And, just come on out and we'll get the information out. When you'll send me the flyer, I'll post it for the 2020 event, so it's great. It's a great cause. It's a great mission. And it's just right now is the gift of giving. It's December. It's the gift of giving, not receiving, but giving. And it just I feel so warm and tingly inside right now.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. And when you're watching, be sure to share it, host a watch party. The whole thing is just to kind of spread the word. We're not so concerned with, we need your donations. We need your donations. We need them. Even if you want to become a monthly donor of $5 a month, I can't tell you how much those things help in the work that we're doing and the giving that we get to do with the families and the youth that we serve. But just participate, watch a great show, and spread the word about our organization, Showcase Group.
Let me say this before this may have crept up in someone's mind. You may say, well, it's in Georgia, but you know what? You don't know if this youth may move to another state where your child is and start dating your daughter or dating your son. So let me break it down. So just because it's in Georgia, that person then will change their life and move on to another state. And if they don't change their life, they're going to still move on to another state. So I don't want you to think about this is just in Georgia. This is a global, just like we have this pandemic, this is a global pandemic, y'all.
Jackie, I got one for you there too, because like I mentioned, we have virtual youth advocates. So we have opened it up. You can be anywhere in the country and be a virtual youth advocate with our organization. And we partner you with the youth that's in the community that they just need you to pour into them. And you can do it virtually, just like we're talking right now. Those youth log on. We facilitate the whole thing, get you the Zoom link, set it all up. And then boom, you're having that conversation with that youth on a regular basis and building rapport wherever you are in the world. So that's something really exciting too. COVID taught us how to make it happen no matter what.
Yes, you have to pivot. And I'm so glad we were pivoting way before COVID. That's why we survived. For some strange reason, I just couldn't go out anymore. And we started pivoting and like, okay, let's do. And when we were doing the virtual, people were like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I want to come into the studio. Yeah, now they want to do this, where I'm like, we're booked to like almost March for interviews, So again, I want to thank you. I want you to know I appreciate you. We appreciate you, my brother.
Thank
and
you.
Whenever I hear women are talking about, oh, black man ain't this, black man ain't that, trust me, I eat them alive because there's so many men that are doing great things. We just need to shine a spotlight on them just to show what they're doing, So just because you have a bad circumstance don't mean it's forever. So again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We had a mouthful and, I'm holding him to the spot. I'm like 10 minutes over because I told him 45 minutes. But y'all know I let her talk. Y'all know
It's
I let
all
her
good. All good.
So thank you again for just being a wonderful guest. Ladies, thank you for tuning in. Please share. And you know what? And I want to wish you abundant blessings, prosperity, health, more money, and more money. So good night. Bye, everyone. Tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock.